right, next. Oh, I don't want to make myself sad. Billy Gunn, at the end of his match, takes off his boots and leaves them in the ring. For those that don't know, but I'm sure most people know, especially if you're listening to a wrestling podcast, that means in wrestling tradition, before they had glitzy pay-per-view last matches, before they had Hall of Fame speeches and all that, how you retired, amateur wrestling does this too. A lot of combat sports do it. You take off your boots or shoes, you leave them in the middle of the ring and leave. It's an emotional moment in a lot of combat sports, and back in the day, it was very common in pro wrestling. So Billy Gunn takes off his shoes, leaves them in the ring. I'm glad the audience was smart enough to pick up on it. And yeah, it looks like Billy Gunn is retiring. I worked with Billy, I've interviewed Billy, and I've high-fived Billy. That's my Billy Gunn resume. What's your call on him retiring, Sid?
I don't think he's retiring. I think this is a new era of wrestling, and maybe this generation boots in the ring mean these boots aren't comfortable enough. I need new boots.
Here's the thing. If he doesn't, there's a part of me that if he doesn't retire, I'm like, cool. But it would be cool. I think this is such a cool way to retire. You go for a title, you let your team down, and you put the boots out there and you keep the tradition alive. I think if this is a fake retirement, it's kind of like people always talk about kayfabe and keeping traditions alive. This one, I think, would just be like, oh, you had something special, now you don't. You think it's a fake? What percentage do you think this is a fake?
No, I think it's probably real.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm glad that I'm going to get the Acclaim back as a tag team. I said it. I hate trios. I'm so tired of trio teams. They don't all need to be trio teams, Tony. Please let some of the tag teams stay tag teams. The Acclaim's coming back, baby. That said, I hope Daddy Ass continues to escort them to the ring.
Yeah, Daddy Ass as a manager wouldn't be bad. Just retired in ring action would be awesome. I'm surprised it ain't his son's retiring him, but at the same time, yeah. Him being a manager wouldn't be bad. Them going for the tag titles would not be bad at all. And I just got a joke. Do you think this would hold up in court? The last show I ever ran as a promoter and booker was Tampa All Pro. It was now or never. I didn't false advertise. Never was an option for a second show. But Billy Gunn cut a promo saying when Tampa All Pro returns, he'll come back no matter what. We got it on tape, Billy. Will that hold up in court? Like, if I fly back, it's been 20 years.
I don't think so.
It's been 20 years.
Let Billy Gunn retire, you piece of shit.
Like, Billy, I'm taking you to court. I'm not going to. But Billy Gunn, you promised Tampa All Pro, if there's ever a second show, you would be there. 20
Billy,
years
I'll
have
bite him and
passed,
give him
and
rabies.
now you
I
retire.
swear I'll do it.
You know what?
I'll bite him and give him rabies.
Okay, here it is.
Billy, you're staying retired. Don't let him make you come back.
All right, fine. I'm willing to negotiate. If Billy Gunn is officially really retired, my company that I only ran one show out of because I was burnt out of pro wrestling and Vince paid me a lot of money to stay home and do nothing. That one company, Tampa All Pro, ran one show now or never. At the end of it, Billy Gunn promised he'd be in show 2. Billy Gunn retired. Now or never has been answered 20 years later. Never. I will never run a company named Tampa All Pro ever again. Unless I move to
Billy's
Tampa.
sake.
That's a cool name. For Billy's sake. Unless I move to Tampa. Tampa All Pro is a cool name. Tap?
It's not that cool.
What? You're out of your
Tap Out's lost some of its brand value. It's now associated with douches. Tap just sounds like what you're going to do while you're pillow biting.
All right, first off, you didn't have to get so personal so quick. What the hell, raccoon? And second off, Tampa All Pro is officially done. Billy Gunn, thank you for the memories. Thank you for always helping me out on a radio show, television, and pro wrestling. Do you think he remembers me?
You know,
do you think when he was pulling down like his third loop, he's like, that guy in Tampa was a good dude?
I think if you met him, he would pretend he did.
I think so too. I think he would have class. He'd be like, oh,
yeah, I think he's
Koco.
nice enough that even if he doesn't, you wouldn't know he doesn't.
Yeah. As whatever. But I've ran into that. My response is whenever they pretend to know me, I'm like, you're too kind. That's my response. I think that's like the most humble response, you know?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, you fucking know who I am? What's my Twitch channel? He'll be like, listen, dude, I was just trying to be friendly. I don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, John Jones didn't know who I was. He gave me a burrito in a Taco Bell parking lot, though. Tried to get me to hide some cocaine for him. I said, no, sir, John Jones.
and that's how you got kicked out of the UFC. All right. Next segment. Boop.
Oh, I will say though, on that topic, one parting note.
All right,
How
hold
cool
on.
would
Back.
it be if because they're gonna fight to get him to like stay, and obviously,
Yeah, Billy
but
Gunn.
how cool would it be if they build up to them being in like a final match to get the tag team championship? After a while, they built up to that. And then it looks like they're going to finally lose. One of them's in a submission. The other one's being knocked around outside the ring. And Billy comes down out to the ring and shoves his arm through with his fingers spread wide, yelling, "Scissor me!" out to Bowens while he's in the submission. And he can just barely reach out and scissor him. And that's enough to fuel him to fight back out of the submission. And they come back and win the match.
I think there you go. You got it. The Scissor Me Daddy power continues. All right. Next segment.
You didn't seem very enthusiastic about my my booking.
Fucking 10 out of 10. You know what? If there's a second Tampa All Pro show, you're in charge of the book.
I don't really believe you. I'm questioning the authenticity right now.
I should get a laugh track of that one dude who always giggles, Jimmy.
Just get Bear Friend.
Oh, Bear Friend's a giggler. I love her to death.
Her and Jimmy Fallon would have fits together.
They would just never stop giggling. Like, I love my wife, but dude, she ruins my confidence in the best way ever. Like, I don't even know if I'm funny anymore. I'll be like, hey, can you pass me the ear Q-tip? And she'll, so what are you laughing about? I don't know. Maybe she's just an insane person. Would make sense marrying me.